Hello my gorgeous makeup loving friends, I hope you are having a fantastic day and a great start to your weekend. My name is Teresa and I love all things makeup, beauty and skincare, and today we're talking about the new releases that you guys and myself collectively found rather interesting and worth discussing. So I have to say a massive thank you to everyone who tagged me, DM'd me, etc. Your names are being displayed right now. I super appreciate it. I also have to say a massive thank you to my YouTube community members. Your names are also being displayed right now. You guys know you're fantastic. It's just how it is. But I do want to have a live with you guys tomorrow, Sunday, at about maybe 1 PM Irish time, because I do have a few extra bits to put into the giveaway box for you guys, and I just want to have a little bit of a hangout, so keep a little eye out for that. Now I will say this week is a little bit more quiet. There hasn't been that many new releases that were that interesting, but in saying that, I still feel that we have to have a beverage, maybe a snack. You guys know it's tea for me. I wish I was sponsored. Lions, reach out to me. You know how I feel about you guys, but I will still always recommend a beverage, a snack, etc. Before I want to talk about the new releases, I wanted to talk about a brand that I quite enjoy, and I had a little bit of an issue pop up this week, and it is Arttitude Cosmetics. Now I thought that this post was really relevant because it shows just how transparent they are. They outlined that obviously they're coming out with a new palette, super exciting, and they had approved a particular shade of like a navy blue, and it was super pigmented, all was going great, and apparently their supplier went off sick and something went lost in communication and all the palettes came back but with a really not so pigmented shade, and she basically decided, well, I don't really want to release this with like a poor shade. Yeah, all of the rest of them are great, but I don't want to give my customers one poor shade. And I just thought to myself, my goodness, what a refreshing call, because so many brands are just like, meh, they'll take it and they'll be thankful for it. And I was like, okay, this is great. So she decided, well, I'm going to put it to my consumers to see what they would like. Would they like me to depot the not so great shade and put in the shade that I wanted, or would they like me to send on the palette as it is along with the additional shade? And it seems that a lot of us decided send on the palette along with the additional shade. I love that. I just thought the transparency, fantastic. She could have just gone ahead and not said anything, but I appreciate that transparency. I just wanted to talk about that because I'm like, this is how a business should run themselves. You know, that sort of transparency with their consumers, and I'm all for it. But let's talk about the new makeup releases. So the first one that I want to talk about was Shellwe makeup. Yes, I know I talked about this a while ago, but hey, I'm catching up. This is the Elaina pigment palette. It's available now for $49. You can get it through their website, but you can also rather randomly buy them through AliExpress. And they originally had it so that the first 100 orders would get a free Liana palette. Now that no longer applies. They've obviously gone past the 100 orders, but I think this palette is really pretty. I did have somebody say that they thought that the deers on the front, one of them was wearing a shower cap, and I'm like, look, you never know, like maybe deers are getting a perm on. Anyways, I think this is really pretty. It's one of those standard neutral palettes, but there's a couple of really nice little pops of color. This is really great for somebody who's like a little bit nervous of trying something very new, very colorful. I will say I have a couple of things from Shellwe, because you can get like mini palettes and you can get the larger versions of the palette, and I think that's, by the way, as a business idea, fantastic. And I got these cute little mini palettes, and they're shaped like little books. They're adorable. They're like little keychains. That's how small they are, and the pigment of them are absolutely fantastic. So if you're worried about what that's like, I will say I think they're really good in that sense. I think the color story of this, very pretty. The shimmers almost look a little bit more toppery, so again, for anyone who's a little bit nervous of trying out some color, I think this is a really great little foray into that. There's something about A, the color story, and B, kind of the artistry of the outside of the palette that reminds me a little bit of Tammy Tenuka inspired by Sigil, and I say that with a lot of love, a lot of respect. I haven't seen their stuff in forever. What is going on? But this kind of reminds me of that. I think it's really pretty. I have enough stuff in my collection that I could dupe this, so that's why I didn't get it, but I think this is very pretty, and for $49, I don't think that's bad for a 10 shade palette. Yeah, you could get cheaper, but I think this is quite pretty and it would make a really nice gift for somebody. I will say my one critique, and it isn't really a critique, is that it feels a little bit more, and I think maybe it's the cover of the palette, feels a little bit more winter-esque. That's not even a critique. It's just more an observation because I'm in the midst of summer. So I'm thinking of that, but obviously Southern Hemisphere, you're in the middle of winter. So this is kind of perfect for you guys. I think it's very pretty. I didn't end up getting it, but I think it's quite nice. The next thing that we're talking about is Blend Bunny Cosmetics, and this is their Longing palette. It is available right now. It's €39.95. They say that it's a cool toned dream palette curated for the hopeless, tragic, romantic inside us all. I'll have you know that I am dead inside. I'm definitely not a hopeless, tragic, romantic. I'm sorry. There's cool brands, muted sage, steel blues and icy lavenders, sure to create heartbreakingly beautiful looks. There's duochromes, multichromes and extra sparkly shimmers. Now of course she's done the standard thing that has kind of made her brand quite well known in that she has her specific colour columns, which I personally really like. I like the way that that is spread out. I think this is one of the prettiest colour stories that she's done in quite some time. I love the melancholic look of this. I love the cool tones. Not quite what we would expect at this time of year, but I personally appreciate that. I love how this could also be used with some of her existing palettes, because I'm going to say it right now. I have felt, and I like Blend Bunny, but I have felt like a lot of her palettes of late have been a little bit repetitive, and I'm going to say it, particularly the Ellis Atlantis. I know that was a collab, but that felt a little bit too similar to things like the Primal, the Surge, the Blends. You know, it was literally just another rainbow palette, but this feels new. This feels different. I also feel like it would pair very, very well with the Lunar palette because this is much more pastel leaning. I also feel like it would work quite well with the Sickly and Sweet, which is also a little bit more pastel, but I don't think it quite has those specific cool tones in it. The swatches look very pretty. I like that there's like elements of grunge in here as well, which you guys know I do enjoy. I think it's very, very pretty aesthetically. 10 out of 10. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. Those duochromes, multichromes, and swatched on the fingers. Excuse me, gorgeous. I really appreciate the fact that they've also swatched this on deeper skin so that we can appreciate kind of the level of pigment here as well. I quite like it. I didn't end up picking it up yet. I will at some point though, I think, because I do think it's very pretty, and I do have a lot of Blend Bunny things because I am ridiculous, let's be real. Now you guys know that Glisten Cosmetics have started to stock a lot of Blend Bunny things, so for those of us who are in the UK, Europe, etc., it's a little bit easier for us to get. So I'm thinking I'm gonna wait for this one to come to Glisten, and then I'm going to pick that up along with some Glisten things because I am ridiculous. I think this looks very, very pretty. I'm really glad to see her doing something a little bit different that's going away from the rainbow stuff. Don't get me wrong, I love a bit of rainbow, but so many people are doing that, and particularly with something coming out in June, they're like, ah, Pride, rainbow. I love that she didn't do that. Kudos, well done. I'm so glad to see that she's still coming out with some new innovative ideas, because it's very hard as a brand. You hit like a point where you're like, is that the best idea I had? I don't think I can keep doing the good ideas. So I'm really glad to see that we're seeing something new from them. And then we have Nomad Cosmetics, and this is their Keys Beachy and Peachy Intense Colour Palette for €49, but they also came out with a Keys Beachy and Peachy Canvas Beach Bag for €29. Now I did do a look during the week, and it was actually with the Saints Angel Sinners palette. It was the Reckless palette, a collaboration between them and Calvin Brockington, and quite a few people thought that the look that I made possibly came from this palette, and I can kind of see it, to be fair. This is very fun. There's something that's a little bit Mardi Gras-esque about this, and I kind of get it. The packaging's so cute. There's fucking flamingos on it. I want a flamingo. They're very, very cute. I think this is very, very pretty. Their mattes, I find, are very, very strong, very blendable, very buildable. It's just the sort of formula that I personally quite like. I've also found over the years that I've always liked their shimmers. I've thought that they're very pretty, but I have noticed over the last maybe year and a half, I think they've been changing around their shimmer formula in the best way. I think it's definitely elevated. It's gotten a little bit better, and I personally enjoy it. I think this looks fun. It's not necessarily 100% my kind of thing, but I get where the source inspiration is coming from. It's very summery, you know, it is very like, let's go to the beach each, let's go get away. There we go. That's as much Nicki Minaj as I'm gonna do today. Who had that on their bingo card for today? I think it looks very pretty. I'll also point out that yellow, when they have that swatched, looks pretty decent. Like there's a pale yellow, and I've said this before, yellows are so difficult. So whenever I see a brand take on a yellow, I'm like, standing ovation. Well done, guys. That's so hard. You are brave. You deserve a medal. So the pastel one, it seems you're not getting quite the same amount of pigment, and you can really see it on the deeper skin tones, which honestly, that's fair. I appreciate the fact that they're giving us realistic swatches rather than just kind of going, here, let's computer generate this nonsense. No, let's be honest with consumers. Thank you very much. There's obviously a yellow in there as well that's much more kind of almost orangey toned. There's a little bit of like an orangey tone to that, and I think it's very pretty. I personally amn't 100% for this colour story. It's a little bit too wee for me, and now I love colour, but it's I kind of would struggle a little bit with this. It's just not 100% my taste, and that's fine. Things don't have to be for me. If, however, you like this colour story, I think you'll enjoy it. Nomad Cosmetics are very good. They have a good formula, and I just enjoy their general ethos. They're a lot of fun. They have a good brand campaign. They're really good with their marketing. Like, what else can be said? They also have this little beach bag, and that looks quite cute, to be fair. I don't know if I'd necessarily spend €29 on it. I mean, it looks quite cute. I love that they're doing a lot more accessories. They've been doing that a lot lately, and it does look like there's like a bottle in the picture as well. I think that might have come as part of their Nomad Air, which is almost like Pan Am sort of thing. It looks very cute. I like it. It does make me feel a little bit, it reminds me of the 90s and beaches and caravan holidays, because that was my childhood. We did a lot of caravan holidays, which, by the way, don't ever take young children and put them into a tin can in heat. Terrible idea. But I think it's cute. It's a nice little collection. Just isn't for me. What is for me though, and I'm telling you, I went feral when I saw this, because Gloss Gods recently came out with a bronzer, and I was like, oh, okay, that's grand. Not necessarily for me. I'm quite happy with the bronzers that I have, and I thought, that's it. I'm safe. I'm safe from Gloss Gods. They're not going to get me for a while. I was wrong. I was so wrong, because they really quickly were like, here's a new collection. It's called Let's Pop, and it's these cute little 5-pan palettes. There's 6 of them in total. There's pink pop, blue pop, nude pop, green pop, purple pop, and peach pop. I am so proud that I said that. They're €27.95 each, or you can bundle them for €128.95. You guys know I am an affiliate with the brand. Yeah, so you can use my code TERESAM, all one word. There you go. It'll get you some money off. I got these immediately. They look so cute. Oh my god. I love how I compare these with a lot of my existing Gloss Gods palettes to accentuate what is already there, but they also work in and of themselves. I'm going to talk about the purple pop one first. Oh my goodness. Right. The first thing that I thought of when I saw these was, do you remember when Kaleidos did really fun, colourful makeup? Oh, what a time to be alive. And they had, I think was it the lavender lunar skies or something like that. And I have that. It's beautiful. It kind of reminds me a little bit of this, but a little bit deeper. And I am here for it. I also have their, is it the lavender skies from Gloss Gods? I can't even remember, but there's a beautiful lavender shade from that. They do spectacular purple, so I'm very excited about that. The information that they have on this is Purple Rains with Purple Pop. This palette offers a regal mix of matte pastels, luminous duochromes, and mesmerizing multi-chromes in rich purple shades. How they've done that with 5 shades, I don't know, but they have, and it's very pretty. The next one then is Pink Pop, and this again reminded me of Kaleidos, the original, and I say that again as a massive compliment, because I was a huge fan of Kaleidos back when they did very colourful things. And oh my god, look at that middle shade. Look at it. It has that really fun orangey pinky shift. It is stunning. So they say with this, Pop Off with Pink Pop features a dreamy mix of matte pastels, shimmering duochromes, and vibrant multi-chromes in all the pink hues you love. Oh my god, I absolutely love this. I think it's stunning, gorgeous. I love that there's that level of depth reflect because there's like a really dark pinky burgundy in there as well. Deceased. Absolutely love this. And then they have the peach pop. Oh my god, there's two duochromes in there that make me want to weep. They're so beautiful. Again, they have their duochromes, their multi-chromes, all that sort of thing. But do you see the sort of duochrome that's at the very top? It's called Pop Quiz. Shut up. That pinky reflect, absolutely stunning. And they've gotten some good pictures of these, don't get me wrong, but there's something about Gloss God's formula that you have to see in action. You have to video it, you have to see it moving around in the light to really appreciate. Ooh, it is so pretty. I thought I was over monochromatic palettes. I thought that I was at that point in my life where I would go, monochromatic, everyone's done it, who cares? And then Gloss Gods come along and I say, all is forgotten. Because I don't care, I love it. Even the nude pop, oh my god, that middle shade on the top arm, shut up. Oh my god, absolutely gorgeous. Again, really nice mix here. I would generally prefer like maybe one extra matte, but that's me being pernickety. I think this would really mesh beautifully with their Let's Get Nude palette that came out rather recently. I don't think it dupes anything from that. I just think it would add to it. Oh, I love this. It's expensive though, €27.95 for a 5-pan. So for a lot of us that would feel like a lot, but I will say you get what you pay for, and they are so annoyingly good. So I can't really say much other than that. The green pop, I like that this is quite minty green. It's unusual, and that sort of a minty green matte, very difficult to get right. What I've noticed with Gloss Gods mattes is that they're the formula that I personally like, in that they don't give you the biggest amount of pigment straight off, but you build, you disperse. They are fantastic for that. Weirdly, this is, and you're going to be surprised by this, but this is the palette that I like the least. I know, it doesn't speak to me as much as the rest for whatever reason, and you guys know I am a hoe for greens, but this just doesn't get me as much. I still love it, but the rest are of such a like wow out there kind of quality that I'm like, this doesn't grab me as much. Then finally we have the blue pop. There's something about this that reminds me of 2018 makeup in the best way. I quite like this. Do I think this is necessarily new, original, etc.? Not really. I think I have a lot of stuff in my collection that could dupe this, but I still think it's really pretty, and I love, love, love their formula. They don't have that much in terms of blues actually in their formulas thus far, so I'd really like to see what the story is there. In case you didn't know, if you haven't checked out my stories, I ended up getting all 6 because I am so ridiculous, but I love Gloss Gods. I have just gotten to a point where I'm like, gimme, whatever it is, give it to me, particularly if it's an eyeshadow palette. So I will definitely be doing maybe like a swatching Sunday or whatever with that at some point. But I think it's absolutely gorgeous. They've done so, so well. Then we have Lunar Beauty, and they're coming out with some liquid blushes. I'm honestly kind of surprised that it's taken this long for them to do liquid blushes, because Manny kind of popped off with some really great blush palettes early on with the brand, and it feels like this is a bit dated to come out with liquid blushes. This is the first time that the brand is doing this. Now, as you're watching, this is already available, but I am filming on a Thursday because I have a friend coming over on Friday. So I'm filming and editing on a Thursday. So you're getting to see some pictures that are just from the YouTube announcement, so it probably isn't the best, but you know what? Use your imagination and go and find the pictures yourself. I know, I'm terrible. Anyways, this will be available as you're watching. There's 6 shades, they're $25 each. There are codes apparently that you can get some money off, and there's apparently going to be a buy 2 get 1 free bundle. So there you go. It's apparently a full coverage satin formula. I think the shades are quite pretty. They're safe. I like that there's a very cool toned pink that is very like now. I hate that I'm saying that, but there you go. It's quite pretty. And then there's some more neutral sort of blushes, which I think is very, very smart. It's hard to find neutral blushes that are a liquid formula. I'm intrigued. I'd like to see what the story is. I haven't bought anything from Lunar Beauty in a while. I don't think this is necessarily going to call me to go and buy anything from the brand, but it's fine. I'm kind of surprised that it's taken so long for him to do this. Does that make sense? It just feels like, oh, okay, you're finally doing this. It's grand, it's fine, but I feel a little bit underwhelmed. Who knows? However, I love that I'm moving on now to Davini Beauty. This is their Currentsea palette and it is available right now for $65. In this, you get 6 special shimmers that include metallic, holochromes, multichromes, and 1 pressed glitter, and the rest are all highly pigmented. One of them apparently has a subtle sparkle. Like I said, it is available now. Part of what I really loved about this was that when I went onto their website to have a look at this, I was like, okay, your swatches, I'm pretty sure have come from some particular people that you've given them in PR in exchange, which I think is so smart. Do that. But I couldn't see based upon, now I will say I didn't look very hard because I'm lazy, but I could almost see from the swatches. I was like, I know who this is. Like, I'm 99.9% certain this is Glam Smitty. Like, I can kind of tell. She does fabulous swatches, and I love that they've kind of shown this across a couple of different skin tones. Wow. This shows that indie beauty can get all sorts of inclusivity when it comes to their swatches. So I don't know why bigger brands can't, but there you go. And I knew as soon as I saw this, Deandra Nicole, I just know it. I know as soon as I see a Deandra Nicole swatch, because she just blows it out of the water. I think this is super, super pretty. And it's really interesting that they say that there's 8 mattes, because when I look at this, it doesn't initially seem to be 8 mattes. I'm like, oh, I love that they've segmented this almost as like unique color stories. Very, very pretty. I also suspect that these are the swatches of macro makeup. I'm not 100% certain, but I suspect it is. And you can really see some of the multi-chromes here. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And then there's some really nice sort of close-ups to show you the sparkle, the glitter, etc. of these. And there was another person over on Instagram that did some gorgeous, I mean, stunning swatches. They go by Cine Reviews, so they've watermarked their pictures, but you'll be able to see them there. Oh my god, this is absolutely gorgeous. Now it's $65, but I think you can get codes for money off. I think this is very, very pretty. I think particularly the swatches are what sells me. This again just shows the importance of swatches and working with creators to really showcase the products that you have. I haven't really heard that much about Davini Beauty. I've seen 1 or 2 things from them in the past, but they haven't really called to me. But this is absolutely stunning. I love how it's, particularly in Cine Reviews swatches, you can almost see it's like 2 distinct palettes kind of squashed together. Love that. Think it's absolutely stunning. I really like it. Very tempted to get it, but I did say before, I'm going to India in a month. I know. Whew, I'm very nervous. I'm not great with travel. I worry a lot about like new environments. But I obviously have to save for that, because I can't be going over and being like, I have no money because I've bought eyeshadow palettes, because that's stupid. Like, we've been planning this holiday for quite some time. So for the moment, I'm going to refrain, but I do think that this looks absolutely gorgeous. Then we have Colourpop, who are also coming out with liquid blushes, but they are $10 US each. They say that it's a weightless 8-hour liquid blush with a cushiony, creamy texture that's super buildable and blendable for the perfect amount of pigment to create a hydrating, healthy flush, and it's also infused with hyaluronic acid and polyglutamic acid. And there's 8 shades. Oh, what a time for Manny to come out with his stuff when Colourpop is doing this as well. So this is available right now on Colourpop. It's going to be available on Ulta Beauty from July 7th and through Target on July 14th. Is it just me? I don't think it's just me. I think you're also going to agree with me, so I'm easing you in here. Do the components look an awful lot like Rare Beauty, but instead of like a circle at the top, they've got, we'll change it slightly, it's a heart. I mean, no shade, it just looks a bit like it. The shades look grand, nothing kind of that interesting, I will say. I also kind of don't trust their swatches because they tend to be very washed out. I find that as helpful as swatches can be on the arm to give you an idea of things, it's much more indicative when you see it on the actual face. And I'd like to see some of these on the face blended out. I like the idea of there being hyaluronic acid, etc. in there. Don't think that's bad. Everyone is including hyaluronic acid in everything these days, so you know, why not? I do feel that some of these shades are going to look a little bit better on lighter skin than medium and deeper skin, and that has historically been an issue with Colourpop in my opinion, and I feel like they definitely need to work on that. Why not have a nice purple shade? It's not that hard. Do something like that. It's grand. It's fine, $10. And of course there's always codes for like 10% off, so you could get $1 off, so it'll be like $9. A liquid blush for $9, not bad at all. I can see those as being like one of those I'll pop this into my cart type thing if I was getting a bunch of things, which I'm not. I don't need anything from Colourpop for the foreseeable. I don't think it's bad though. I'm interested to see what the longevity is actually like. How does it wear throughout the day? Because particularly liquid blushes, on a lot of people, not so much on me because I have very dry skin, but liquid blushes, if you have oilier skin, tend to kind of move throughout the day and you have to kind of touch them up. So even though they're saying they're long lasting, I wonder what the story is with that, particularly if there's hyaluronic acid, etc. in that. For people who have oilier skin, they may not find that it's going to be as long wearing as somebody like me who has dry skin. Then we have Fenty, and I feel like it's been a long time since I've seen anything from Fenty that I'm very interested in. It feels like maybe this is correlated with the fact that Rihanna isn't as active in the music industry, and part of her brand did essentially revolve around her celebrity persona to some degree. And she did wear a t-shirt recently that said "I'm retired," and I'm like, oh, is that what's going on there? Anyways, I will say I think this is somewhat interesting. Is it the most interesting thing that they've done? No, but it's not bad. This is the Gloss Bomb Universal Lip Luminizer. Look, they're known for their gloss bombs. They're pretty darn nice. They're also very nice smelling, and sometimes they have like a taste to them, which for the sensory being me, I don't mind. This is their Roblox Major Flex. It's available now for €26 and it is limited edition. For that €26, you are getting 9 milliliters of product, and I quite like this. It's very gunmetal-y. It's quite dark and it looks absolutely stunning on the lips, particularly those who have a deeper skin tone. Oh, I like this. I do. And I worried about this because obviously I worry about stupid things, and I was like, oh my god, this isn't going to come to Ireland, is it? It's going to take forever, then it just won't happen, and I want this. So I went onto Fenty Beauty and I ordered this for myself and for my friend because I was like, she's also going to want this. I'm going to say, this is so stupid, but I love the little smiley face on the handle. Yeah, talk about the makeup products, Teresa. Talk about the makeup products. But I think this is quite nice. €26 is so expensive for a gloss. And there weren't any discount codes, so I paid full price. And I hate myself for that. I'm very angry with myself. And I had to pay shipping. They don't even like have free shipping. Ridiculous in this day and age. I think it looks really pretty. I like their glosses. They're one of my favorite gloss formulas, to be fair. But I just feel like Fenty Beauty in general, they've taken their foot off of the accelerator and it's not as interesting as they once were. And I'm like, guys, I need you to do something, please. And do you know what? If this is what it is, I'm not angry about it, but I'm a little bit disappointed. You know, I want to see a little bit more. Like, this could have been part of another collection. Although I will say, their eyeshadows are trash. There, I said it. Fenty Beauty does one of the most overpriced, rubbish eyeshadow palettes. There you go. I don't like them. I don't think they're worth it. Her other stuff, really, really good, but yeah, anyways, for a TLDW, I liked this, ended up getting it, very exciting. We're near the end now, this is just sneak peeks. And if you had told me that a collaboration with Teletubbies was on the cards, I wouldn't have believed it. But the more I was thinking about this, the more I was like, okay, this kind of makes sense because the kids who grew up with Teletubbies are adults now. I know, I don't want to believe that either, but apparently it's a thing. I worked a lot in early intervention back in the day. I still do some consultancy stuff. I have watched too much Teletubbies. I don't get it. It's not for me. But Glisten Cosmetics are doing some sort of a collaboration with Teletubbies. I have no idea what it is. I have no idea what it is. I am an affiliate with the brand, but my friend Daniela is also an affiliate. So I'm going to have her code and my code down below if you want to get anything from them. I did say before, they're also stocking some Blend Buddy. So there you go. I mean, they're known for their liners. They're very, very good. They also have some really nice lip glosses, like some really nice multi-chrome ones. I'm intrigued. I want to know. Maybe I'll do like a highlighter palette or something. I don't know. All guesses down below are welcome. The very last thing that we have as a sneak peek is a rather new brand. It's Mad Witch Cosmetics, the fabulous Steph over on YouTube. This is her brand. I am excited because, well, you guys know I'm a cat person. I love cats, and there's a cat on the front of this. There's a lot of this that's very like linked in with tarot and astrology. I think that's quite cool, but if you look at what it says on the outside of the palette, this is quite interesting. It says it signifies a renewal of spirit, bringing forth calmness, serenity, and an optimistic outlook for the future. Can't relate. I'm the most pessimistic person ever. This card represents a strong connection to one's spirituality and the potential for emotional and physical healing. It's a symbol of radiant, positive energy. That's quite cute. I'm mostly here because there's a cat on the front. I am assuming, maybe I'm being too much, but I'm assuming that the inside of the palette is going to reflect the outside, and we're going to get some nice blues, purples and greens, and if so, count me 5,000,000% in. Now, I did get a palette recently from Mad Witch Cosmetics in Pure. It's the Change palette, it's their first one, and I do want to do a video on it soon, so that's going to really indicate to me what the quality is like. But I'm excited. They also, by the way, as part of that first launch, came out with a mirror that has like cat ears on it. It's adorable. It's really, really cute. I'm excited about this. I am. I think this is quite fun, and it's always nice to see some new brands doing their own thing, having their own aesthetic and staying true to themselves, and I am here for it. But my gorgeous friends, that's it. We're at the very, very end. I do have my favourite comment, and this is from the fabulous Tina, who said, OMG, the Cosmic Brushes Cool Tone palette is screaming at me. So bloody beautiful. Very rude, by the way, of a palette to scream at you. Like, keep it down. Who else got the cool trolls and the neutrals? Yeah, I got them. I regret nothing. I used my friend Tia's code, Tia10. It actually just arrived today. Very excited. Cannot wait to have a little play with it. They look fabulous. You know that their quality is just really, really good for the price point. But yeah, I agree. They were screaming at me too. And the only thing that quieted the noise was putting them into my basket. Well, this is going to sound so sad. I had an alarm set on my phone for 5:59 p.m. because it was like releasing at 6 p.m. so that I could be on the site and ready. And I'd already input all my details because I have an account with them, so that I could just go click, add, boom, gone, done. And I had it all ordered within about 30 seconds. So I felt very, very happy with myself. Anyways, let me know down below if you got these. Have they arrived yet? Are you excited? I'm excited. But my gorgeous friends, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Do please like, comment and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell, and do please share, because sharing is caring, except of course for STDs, in which case, just wrap it up. Don't be gross, but that's it. That's the end of the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.